Motorpsycho with Here Be Monsters. Monsters! Incorporated. Michael Blauski. Whatever the hell his name was. And the sequel. The Universe. We're talking about an album. Talking about a 7-track album from a group that is well known, actually, in the Prog community. They are known for their progressive rock and psychedelic rock sounds. This is a European band. They have been around for quite some time. They have some renowned interest, and this is a group that is really, their strength lies in their pacing, and the pacing is key to how their music really sets itself up, which side of the two coins, the psychedelic or the progressive rock side, that they are going to incorporate into a track. So this is a 7-track album. This is only 7, and there's 2 songs on here that actually are less than a minute. They are actually they function more so as introductions or soft interludes that either bridge the gap between 2 songs or, as with the very first song, Sleepwalking, start off the album, give us our first taste. And it goes right into Lacuna/Sunrise, which is a near 10-minute long psychedelic experience that has prog rock elements laced throughout. And really the prog rock elements that you hear in this track is the soft theme. The progression definitely reminds you of groups such as Riverside, or perhaps the softer moments of a band such as Wolverine. If you think of the words progressive rock, then this is actually a song that is right up the alley. The psychedelic notion of this comes with more the Sunrise portion, where you hear a little bit more repetition, building the mood, building that sort of a very trippy, very transy ending to this song. But overall, very beautiful melody, very beautiful execution, well done. Running with Scissors, which is track number 3, follows that up with an instrumental that is able to continue some of the themes of Lacuna/Sunrise, but is also able to do this completely without the use of the voice. And that is another strength that this band really possesses, is that whether they're doing a progressive rock side, a psychedelic rock side, if they're doing something simple or they're doing something that's complex, they're able to command your attention, and they do so based around the strength of their melodies, the strength of their compositions, and just overall writing very interesting music. IMS is track number 4, which is a near 7-minute long track and probably one of the hardest songs on the album, with the lone exception of the finale, which we'll get to momentarily. Spin, 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 track number 5, immediately takes me back to the summer of 1969, which I didn't experience, because if I did, I'd be like 60. Unless I was born that year, but I wasn't. But either way, it takes me back to that element and to that real dawn of what psychedelic music was all about. This really reminds me of those early days where it just seemed like acid was influencing the rock scene in such a huge way, especially in San Francisco, California, especially here in America, during the boom of psychedelics, during the boom of psychedelic rock, the beginnings of it, which is still actually a section of rock music that is sort of this this frontier, this wasteland that many of us still aim to this very day to explore. A lot of bands still love to explore to this very day, and for very good reason. It's an interesting notion, an interesting genre that really has no rules. Sleepwalking, again, is track number 6. It's the second of the 2 1-minute long tracks, and then we get into Big Black Dog. Big Black Dog is a near 18-minute long, sprawling suite, a phenomenal finale, one that is able to do a lot of great things by combining all of the elements that Motorpsycho is known for, the harsh and the soft, the psychedelic, and also the progressive. What's interesting about this is that for a band that incorporates so many soft, dulcet tones, and then very seldomly sort of travels into the extreme high, this is one that commands your attention. This is 18 minutes. That doesn't feel like 18 minutes. There are a lot of long tracks out there that feel excessive. There was a Witchcraft album entitled Nucleus last month, that we spoke about that had a couple of longer tracks that felt a bit excessive. This has enough movement, enough undulation, enough of a roller coaster ride that's associated with it, that it commands those 18 minutes. And it doesn't feel like 18 minutes. It doesn't feel like you have wasted time. Instead, it feels like you have enjoyed an experience. And that's what makes Motorpsycho a pleasing listen. You feel like that you have enjoyed an experience. You have undertaken an experience. This is a great album. This is one that's going to, unfortunately, I think, go really under the radar to a lot of people whenever Motorpsycho is a band that really demands a little bit more exploration. I would give this album a strong 83 out of 100. At times, I think that these guys stick to their softer side a little bit too much, but it's also one that is melodious enough to really captivate. I also feel like they could have done a little bit more with this album, offered a little bit more with this disc. And I feel like the 2 sleepwalking tracks, even though they were nice to sort of set things up, didn't really do anything else. That was all that they were really there for. It easily could have been a 5-track album, or they could have written a 6th song. Whichever. These are minor gripes. This is simple format gripe. Something that I shouldn't even gripe about. But also I think that this is a band that is tailored for a little bit more in the way of extreme polarity. One that has so many different elements to their sound that they could explore and they could even incorporate them further. But either way, this is a terrific experience. This is one that shouldn't be slept on. This is one that instead should be, and really it's been the key word of the entire review, experienced. What do you guys think? What do you think about Here Be Monsters by Motorpsycho? Let me know in the comments below. I'm coverkillernation, and we're just getting started today. So stay tuned, and if you're not subscribed, what the hell are you doing? Hit the button right now.